If I said to you, feather the pedal, what does it mean? If I said to you, feather the brake, feather the clutch, do you know what I'm talking about? If I said to you, feather the pedal, could you show me that phrase in the book Driving the Essential Skills, which is written by the DVSA? Could you find that phrase in the highway code so I can understand what it means? Probably not. In today's video, we're going to discuss the importance of using correct terms and phrases for the ADI Part 3 test and the ADI Standards Check test. Welcome to Driver Training. My name's Chris from Driver Training Limited. We've been audit registered trainers since 2007. So why is it important to use the correct terms and phrases when doing the ADI Part 3 and the ADI Standards Check test? Well, two reasons. First of all, under the risk management section, it says, were the instructions given to the pupil clear? So if you're not giving instructions that are clear, such as feather the pedal, such as drop the clutch, what does that mean? Where do I see that? It's understandable that pupils can get confused. But also under teaching and learning, was the technical information given correct? So to say to somebody you need to drop the clutch, you need to feather the pedal, could I find that in any sort of technical book? Could I find it again in the highway code, in the Driving the Essential Skills? No. So to use proper terms and phrases not only helps you with your pupil, it helps you to pass the ADI Part 3 and Standards Check test. So let's look at some misleading phrases and what we really should be saying instead. So first of all, let's go with the drop the clutch. So when it's safe to, we're going to pull up just after the double yellow lines on the left. So mirrors, signal, position, speed is good. Now drop the clutch, drop it down, drop it. Too late. Handbrake on. I'm not holding a clutch. How do I drop a clutch? If you mean press the clutch to the floor, then say so. Is the clutch engaged? To what? The brake pedal? What do you mean? You mean, is the clutch up so we have the bite point? Is the clutch fully up so that we're not riding the clutch and burning it out? What do we mean by those phrases? We need to analyse what we're saying to people. Clutch up is another one. Okay then, when you're ready, Chris, let's get ready to drive on. So clutch up. Oh. Then they just come straight off the clutch. If you mean clutch slowly and gently up till you reach the bite point, then hold your foot still, wait for the car to move, then gently and slowly release the pedal all the way up. Say that. The front of the car, lift up, and you hear the engine noise change. So that means we've got the bite point. Hold your foot still, let it start to move. Now gently clutch up. Very good. Well done. Don't just say clutch up. Number 2, squeeze the brake. Squeeze the brake, squeeze it. So we can see the red lights ahead of us. Squeeze the brake, squeeze it harder. Start gently braking. Brake a little more, slightly off the brake, and just roll up till we see the tyres and a little bit of tarmac. That's fine there. Good. You want me to reach down and squeeze the brake pedal? No, I don't mean that. Good, tell me what you do mean. If you mean gently start to brake, say so. Brake a little more, bit harder, little bit more, fraction more. Progressive braking. Whatever that phrase actually means or you want it to mean, say those words. Make it simple, make it clear. Number 3, probably my favourite when we're doing ADI Part 3 training and ADI Standards Check Test training. I want you to go straight across the roundabout. You do? I do. I will then. Okay, Chris, at the roundabout, go straight across it. Okay. Whoa. Where are you going? You said go straight across the roundabout. Well, I didn't mean that, did I? Well, why'd you say it then? Tell me what you do mean. And then we have the obligatory, what are you doing? I'm doing what you told me to. You said go straight across this roundabout. If you mean I want you to follow the road ahead, the roundabout, or go straight ahead at the roundabout, then say that. Using the left lane, follow the road ahead. Say what you mean. Make it clear. Don't make your pupils fill in the blanks. Well, I didn't mean go straight over it, did I? I didn't mean go straight across it. Well, tell me what you do mean then. Why should I, as the pupil, have to reinterpret what my teacher is telling me? Were the instructions correct? No, because he didn't mean that. And your pupil may well go around the roundabout rather than across. So they would pass their driving test, but you wouldn't pass the Part 3 because the examiner is going, but if they actually did what their teacher was telling them, they now wouldn't have a car fit to drive anymore. When meeting traffic, number 4, be aware of. Be aware of that car coming towards us. I'm aware of it. What do you want me to do? Now as we come down, Chris, be aware of the lorries on our left. I also want you to be aware of cars. So be aware of the lorries and be aware of cars. What does that mean? As we come down, Chris, we've got lorries on the left, so we're looking for any vehicles coming the other way. Any coming out of the side road behind the lorries, keep it slow because they're going to come round onto our side and we may have to stop. As we come down, we've got the roads on the right that cars could come out of. Cars could come out of the road at the end, so keep it dead slow. Let's just be prepared so if something does come, we're ready to deal with it. And as we come down, we'll just slow it again. Seems clear, but is anything going to come out from that junction at the end? We're not sure. We're on the wrong side of the road. Just keep it slow. However, it is clear. We're okay to carry on. If you mean we can see the car coming towards us, let's start gently braking, slow the car down, come to a gentle stop, let the car come through, then we can jump in the gap behind it. Say that. But just to say be aware of doesn't teach me anything. We need to be specific with what we say. Number 5. Steer. Steer. Not that much. Steer back. Not that much. Okay then, so as we start to move, steer, steer, steer. No, steer back, steer back, steer back. No, to steer. Right, now left. So as we start to move forward, turn it one full turn to the right, one full turn to the left. Very good. Well done. So I want you to steer into the middle of your lane. Okay? So turn the wheel. Not that much. Stop. Turn it back to the left. Turn. Full lock it. Turn. Now back to the right. Stop. Okay, Chris. So when we drive off, I'm going to help you find a position in the middle of your lane. Okay, so as we discussed, we want the steering wheel. Think of the steering wheel as a clock face. So let's do our routine to move off. Very good. So now steer to 2, steer to 10, steer to 12. Where does the curb meet your dashboard? Just on that corner there. Okay, so when it's safe to, we're going to, which is not till we're past those double yellow lines, we're going to get ready to pull up on the left. So let's check our mirrors, signal down, now steer 10, steer 2, steer 12, gently on the brake, let it roll to a stop, keep your foot still, handbrake on. Turn, not that much. Turn. What does that mean? Lose the steering? Where? How? How do I lose the steering? You want me to hide the steering wheel? No, Chris, I want you to turn the wheel to the left half a turn. And I'll demonstrate, I'll help you understand what we mean by quarter of a turn, half a turn. Think of the steering wheel as a clock. Turn it from 12 to 6, 6 to 12. What do you mean? Be exact with what you're saying. Especially with things like moving off and stopping. The wheel is at 12, we want to turn it to 2, then 10, then 12. And that will put us in the position, and I'll guide you through that, Chris. We want to do a quarter of a turn to the right, quarter of a turn to the left, another quarter of a turn to the left, and then a quarter of the turn to the right. However you want to put it, it just needs to be very simple and very understandable. We don't want our pupils to have to second guess what it is we're saying to them. The next one, feather the brake, as we said. Feather the clutch. Feather it. So we see them braking, Chris. Feather the brake. Feather it. Brake. Oh. So we see them braking. Feather the brake. Brake. You didn't feather it? Oh. I want you to feather it more. Oh. What does that mean? Start gently braking, gently brake a little more. Say so. Take your foot off the gas. Now that one doesn't seem too bad, but sometimes what the trainee actually means is just come slightly off the gas. We don't actually want to slow down, but we don't want to keep building up speed. We want to kind of hold that momentum, or just gently, a little off the gas. You know, if there's a car coming down the slip road at the side of us and we just want them to filter in front of us, just come off the gas a fraction. Just let him keep going, and then we carry on behind him. But we don't actually want to come off the gas completely and have the car slowing down. So again, just that slight adjustment in your phrases and your terminology can make the whole difference to your pupil's driving experience. When we're turning right, let's go. So we've got a gap, let's go. Okay, when you're ready then, Chris, let's go. No worries. So into first gear. Okay. Do those observations. So there's a car coming from behind. Let's go. Okay, Chris. So we're going to keep our foot on the bite point, just to the front of the car. Lift slightly. That's good. Hold your foot steady. Here comes our chance to move off. Keep your foot still and let the car go. Well done. Very good. And they come straight off the clutch and stall in the middle of the road, in the middle of turning right. It would be much easier to say, okay, just gently up on that clutch, let's move across. Here comes the gap, so hold the bite point and just fraction up, let's start moving across. Rather than, let's go. Because the natural reaction is to respond to that. We want to be clear and concise. We don't mean just come off that pedal completely. But if you think let's go tends to be an immediate command, just try and be a few seconds ahead of the pupil. Looking down the road, Chris, we're going to have a gap after this white car. So get the bite point ready. Get your hand on the handbrake. Hold your foot still because we've got a good bite point there. Handbrake off, just let it start to move. Now gently clutch up. If that's what we want them to do, be precise. Can you feel the engine? Does it feel luggy? Does it feel what? Luggy. Luggy. Can you feel the engine struggling, Chris? We need to change down a gear. We need to go into third. We need to go into second gear. Can you feel it struggling? Now, some of these phrases could be regionally based, but we have people come to do the Part 3 training from all over the country. And these are some of the most common phrases. So we may not have heard of all of them, but we can assess our Part 3 training and our standards check test training and think, actually, do I say some of these things? Our next one, stop. Stop. Not here, at the junction. As we come up to the junction, Chris, I'd like you to just come up to the line and stop. But do we give the destination first? Okay, Chris, it's a closed junction. We're going to stop. Okay, I will. We're going to come up to the line, then stop. We're going to come slowly up to the line and stop. Chris, we're going to pull up on the left. So as we come past this car, I want you to stop. Okay, I will. Now your pupils probably won't, because they're thinking, I don't want to stop in the middle of the road. But if your pupil was taking everything you said at face value and not filling in the blanks to think, well, it can't mean now, I'm in the middle of the road, so I'm going to pull up. What I'd like you to do, Chris, just after this car, is find somewhere safe to pull up on the left. and come to a stop. Or just pull up on the left. But if we say, I want you to stop, it's a closed junction, there's a car coming round that roundabout, so I want you to stop. Not here, at the line. So say that. There's a car coming round, just come up to the line, Chris, come to a gentle stop. And then handbrake on into first gear, let's get ready to move off when it's safe. Linked in with that, pull up on the left. Now, no, because there's junctions and double yellow lines. Again, when it is safe to, Chris, I'd like you to pull up on the left. I'd like you to find somewhere safe to pull up on the left. Be precise. Think, well, if they did what I said when I said, would they do it? Pull up on the right. Okay, Chris, pull up on the right. What do the examiners say? When it's safe, pull up on the right. And an offshoot of that is I want you to turn left. Turn left, Chris. What we're going to do, Chris, turn left. Now. Into this guy's driveway. Not now, at the end of the road. Okay, Chris, I want you to turn left. Not here. Where are you going? I thought you said turn left. No, at that road. Look. See where it is? Yeah. Okay, Chris, as we come down, I'd like you to take the second road on the left. This one being the first. Can you see the second one with the white lines? Yes. Road. We're going to go right. Now. No, at the roundabout. Well, say that. At the roundabout, Chris, I'd like you to go right, third exit. As we come down this road, Chris, I would like you to take the next road on the left. Or the second road on the left. Whatever it is, give the destination first, then the command. Is it a walking junction or a jogging junction? A. Is it a walking junction or a jogging junction? Would you walk up to it or jog up to it? Well, to be honest, my jogging's probably the same speed as my walking, to be honest. What would you do? Just stop, Chris. Now again, could you find that phrase in the highway code or essential skills? Have you heard of that phrase? So many instructors will go, I've not even heard of it. I know I hadn't. But then I was told, but if you can't see what's coming, then that's a walking junction. If you can see what's coming, then that's a jogging junction. So what's the natural reaction? Do you mean is it open or closed? If it's a closed junction, we're going to come up either dead slow until we can see if the pupil's advanced enough, or we're going to come up to it and stop if we're just getting used to them practicing it. If the junction's open, no buildings, bushes, brickwork, we can see it's clear, then we can keep going. Again, be exact, be accurate with what you say. Don't make them try and have to think of phrases that then they have to kind of recalculate what they actually mean. Just say the basic stuff to begin with. Is this an open junction? A closed junction? Are we going to stop at it? Are we going to keep going? That's it. What I'd like you to do, Chris, is nudge forward. Nudge it. Nudge. Nudge. We're just going to move the car by the bite point, just slowly forwards until we can actually see what's coming up and down the road before we move out. So just hold the clutch at the bite point, just down a little bit, and let the car slowly move forward, cover the brake there. So peep and creep, creep and peep, however you want to phrase it, both is acceptable. Just move the car slowly forward, just dead slow, less than we can use walking pace, because that's something they understand. So there's nothing wrong with using a simple phrase, just less than walking pace, slowly forward, or just inch it forward, just move it tiny fraction forward, just dead slow. Hold the clutch just under the bite point so we're moving, cover the brake, stop there. But nudge, you can nudge someone and make them fall over, so you can go quite a distance. But again, let's be accurate with what we say. We're going to come to a rolling stop. We're going to roll to a stop. Well, we do that every time we stop. What do you mean by that? If you mean we're going to come up very slowly, less than 5 miles an hour to see if we can go or not, say it. If we're going to come up to the junction and stop, say that. If we're going to come up to the junction but then keep going, perhaps into first gear, then say that. Just be very simplistic. So we're going to slow it all the way down, Chris, less than 5 miles an hour. We're going to go into first gear, because if this junction opens up and we can do effective observation, right, left and right, we see it's clear, we're going to keep going. If not, we're going to stop. That's all it needs to be, rather than a rolling stop, because you roll to a stop every time you stop. So it can be a confusing choice of word. When dealing with roundabouts or wider roads, to say to me, I want you in lane 1 or lane 2, which way are you going? Because I'm going to go the opposite. You might mean lane 1, lane 2. I might mean lane 1, lane 2. And then if I'm on an unmarked roundabout without a dividing line in the middle, which one is lane 1 and which one is lane 2? Because technically I can't see a difference. So it's much easier to just say, I want you to keep in the left-hand lane. But I don't have a white line in the middle. You don't need it. Wherever that lane is, however wide it is, there is only one left and there is only one right. So stay by the left-hand curb all the way round. That's why on country roads or roads without centre white lines, we don't drive down the wrong side. We still stay on the left-hand side, because no matter how wide, how narrow, we know left is this side, right is that side. So what I want you to do, Chris, is go into the right-hand lane. What I want you to do is go into the middle lane. What I want you to do, Chris, is follow the left lane, stay by the left curb all the way around. You see, it's crucial for driving instructors for the ADI Part 3, the ADI Standards Check, to use language that learners can understand, that is very common. And then when you're being marked, were the instructions clear and accurate? Yes. I want you to stay in the left-hand lane. Then if the pupil makes a mistake, it's not your fault as the teacher. But if you say to them, I want you to stay in lane 1, and they go in the wrong lane, then the examiner can quite rightly say, well, how are they supposed to know which is 1 and 2? This is what we want to try and avoid. Just make it very simple, very clear, and in a way that cannot be misunderstood. This way you'll find your pupils thrive, because the instruction is very clear. When they do make mistakes, they'll understand it better. What it means is no matter where they go, what book they look at, what reference works they use, highway code, driving the essential skills, whatever it is, you're using the same phrases, the same terminology that is in those guidebooks. And that's what helps us to become successful teachers. So we hope this video has helped with your phrasing and understanding. If you know of any other phrases, just leave us a comment, let us know. It'd be good to understand what some of them are. But we hope this has helped you to become a better teacher, to clarify what you say to people and help them understand what you mean. So my name's Chris from Driver Training. Remember, teach well, drive safely, and we'll see you all again in our next video.